Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on CSS margins. And right now we'll be discussing about CSS margin collapse. Sometimes two margins collapse into a single margin. Margin collapse in CSS used to happen between the top and the bottom margins of elements. Top and bottom margins of elements are sometimes collapsed into a single margin that is equal to the largest of the two margins. This does not happen on left and right margins. Only the top and the bottom margins used to happen a margin collapse. Once again, sometimes two margins collapse into a single margin. That is, when you specify margin top and margin bottom. Sometimes one of it is the one that is going to reflect instead of the margin top and the bottom to show at once as a separate margin, but they are not going to show at once. Maybe is the bottom only that is going to show, or is the margin at the top is the only one that is going to reflect. But when you specify, there is a lot of ways used to happen in that manner, whereby when you specify margin at the top, it will show, and when you specify margin at the margin at the bottom you specify will not show. So that's what they call margin collapse. But sometimes when you specify margin at the bottom, it will show. When you specify margin at the top, it will not show. That's also margin collapse. But sometimes when you specify margin at the top, margin at the bottom, and both of it shows, definitely there is no any collapse there. That's what they mean by margin collapse. So I'm going to be exploring this with you guys. Once again, this used to happen in between the top margin and also the bottom margins. Don't you forget that. It used to happen between the top margins and the bottom margins. So sometimes when you specify margins at the top, it will show. But when you specify margin at the bottom, it will not reflect, it will not show. But sometimes you can specify margin at the bottom, it will show, and when you specify margin at the top, it will not show. But sometimes when you specify margin at the both top and bottom, it will show. So I'm going to show you how all this works together so you can understand the deep things about it, because this is so useful and so important. Because sometimes when you are doing something, you will be like, wow, why this thing is not showing, why this thing is not showing. You should be aware of CSS margin collapse. So that's what I will be showing you in our next tutorial. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name once again. I wish to see you guys next time to the next tutorial. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.